Have you ever seen a star rocket across the sky only to fizzle out just as fast? Well, that's the story we're diving into today. It's about a company that was the golden child of India's EV market. One minute, they're celebrating a massive IPO. The next, well, their market share gets sliced in half. This isn't just theory. This is the real story of Ola Electric. And we're going to decode exactly how an IPO darling became a cautionary tale for an entire industry. So, to really get the scale of this collapse, you have to understand just how high they flew. Picture it, a blockbuster IPO, raising over 2,000 crore rupees. I mean, the valuation was massive. The buzz was absolutely deafening. It really felt like the future of mobility had arrived right here and right now. And then this happens. From a totally dominant 60% market share, the company's piece of the pie gets cut right in half, down to just 30%. And get this, it happened in a single month. So how on earth does a company go from a multi-billion-dollar IPO to a market collapse in just over a year? Let's unpack it. Okay, first, let's rewind a bit. We've got to look at how they captured the market so insanely quickly. This rise wasn't just fast, it was explosive. It was really built on this perfect storm of hype, huge ambition, and, a bit of national pride. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's staggering. In just 2 years, the company goes from launch to selling over 200,000 units. They become the undisputed market leader. And all of that incredible momentum leads straight into a heavily oversubscribed IPO. They weren't just aiming high. They were promising to sell 1 million vehicles in their first year alone. The ambition was just limitless. And this was the core of their entire strategy. See, they weren't just selling a scooter. They were selling a dream. With slick marketing, really aggressive festival campaigns, and this powerful national narrative, they positioned themselves as a revolutionary tech giant. You guessed it, the nation's answer to Tesla. The founder became a household name, basically synonymous with the future. But, hype can only carry a company so far. Pretty soon, all the big promises made in those shiny ad campaigns began to clash with the reality that customers were actually experiencing on the ground. And that's when the first cracks in the armor really started to show. The problems were, they were deeply personal for customers and incredibly public. Social media just lit up with complaints. We're talking reports of overheating batteries, some terrifying fire incidents, persistent app glitches, and a customer service system that for many felt like it didn't even exist. It was a perfect storm of user frustration, and it was all playing out for everyone to see. And when problems are this public, they don't stay on social media for long, right? These safety concerns quickly caught the attention of regulatory boards, and before you knew it, official investigations began. This added a whole new layer of pressure. The crisis was no longer just a PR problem, it was now a legal and governmental one. So you've got all these issues piling up. The product failures, the customer backlash, the regulatory heat, all of it created the perfect conditions for a catastrophic market collapse. And in December of 2025, it all just came crashing down. The numbers really do tell the whole story. The once dominant leader plummets all the way down to the number 3 spot. Meanwhile, who steps in? The established players like TVS, Hero, and Bajaj, companies with proven track records and, importantly, robust service networks. They swiftly moved in to reclaim the market, with TVS Motors shooting right back to the top spot. The public anger was just palpable. The hashtag Ola Electric fail went viral, and it became this rallying cry for disappointed customers. And of course, this had a devastating financial impact, with IPO investors watching their shares completely crater. And through all of this, the company's founder remained largely silent. So, this brings us to the crucial question, why? Why did it all fall apart so incredibly fast? Well, the answers lie in a few core strategic mistakes. And pretty much all of them stem from a philosophy that valued growth above everything else. This comparison right here tells the whole story. Let's break it down. Where was the capital focused? For Ola, it was all about marketing and hype. For the legacy competitors, it was on established real-world service networks. And look at the service model, an app-only system versus actual physical service centers. The supply chain, unreliable suppliers versus mature, quality-controlled operations. In the end, it turns out an app just couldn't compete with the robust, on-the-ground infrastructure of its rivals. This entire saga offers some really valuable, if painful, lessons.
So let's distill them down into 3 key takeaways for any founder, any investor, or really any business leader out there. Okay, lesson number 1. An IPO is not a moat. A massive flood of cash simply cannot fix a fundamentally broken product. Number 2, service has to come before scale. You just can't sustain that kind of hypergrowth without the on-the-ground infrastructure to back it all up. And the final, and maybe the most crucial lesson of all, quality will always defeat hype. A single viral video of your product failing can erase the impact of 100 expensive marketing campaigns.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? The company went from being hailed as the next Tesla to a national cautionary tale in just a handful of months. Is this a crisis they can actually recover from, or is this the beginning of the end? Let us know what you think. What's your prediction in the comments? Hey, if you found this breakdown valuable, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more case studies just like this one. We drop new explainers 4 times a week. And as always, thanks for watching.
अगर वीडियो पसंद आया तो लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करें। हर मंगलवार, गुरुवार, शनिवार और रविवार को 6:30 बजे नए वीडियो मिलेंगे सिर्फ फिनोलॉजिक्स पर।
Have you ever seen a star rocket across